Before continue with part 3 of control statement, let's us recall the content covered in part 2. Basically in part 2, we concentrate on the multi-selection statement, or normally referred to as nested if-else statement. In multiple selection statement or nested if-else statement is same like if-else statement, when new block of if-else statement is defined in existing if or else block statement. It is normally used when user want to check more than one conditions at a time. In part 3, we will look at switch case statement. Switch case is another form of the multi-selection statement. Switch case statements are a substitute for long if statements that compare an integral values. Integral values are simply values that can be expressed as an integer or character. It is well structured, but could only be used in certain cases. The basic format for using switch case is outlined below. Firstly, only one variable is tested. This means all branches must depend on the value of that variable. The variable must be either integer or character. Secondly, each possible value of the variable can control a single branch. A final, catch-all, default branch may optionally be used to trap all unspecified cases. Finally, in using switch case statement, it is important to remember that the keyword break must be included at the end of each statement. Let's look at the flowchart. This is the logic flow of switch case statement. The value of the variable given into switch is compared to the value following each of the cases, and when one value matches the value of the variable, the computer continues executing the program from that point. Referring to the flowchart, first the expression is evaluated, then, if the evaluated expression equal to case 1, hence statement 1 will be executed. However, if the evaluated expression equal to case 2, hence statement 2 will be executed. And so forth. Basically, the switch case statement is similar to if-else, but as mentioned previously, it could only evaluate either integer or character only. Here is how the syntax for switch statement looks like. The condition of a switch statement that is switch variable is a value. The case says that if it has the value, in this case the constant expression, equal to the switch variable, then do whatever follows the colon. The break is used to break out of the case statements. Break is a keyword that breaks out of the case code block, usually surrounded by braces, which it is in. Break prevents the program from falling through and executing the code in all the other case statements. The default case is optional, but it is wise to include it as it handles any unexpected cases. Remember, in case statement the case values may only be constant integral expressions. This logic flow shows a program that uses switch case. In this case, the variable tested is years_employed, which is an integer value. Different value of years_employed will result in different bonus value. If years_employed equals 1, then bonus equals 100. If years_employed equals 2, then bonus equals 200. If years_employed equals 3, then bonus equals 400. If years_employed not 1, 2 or 3, then default case will be executed and bonus equals 800. Now let's look carefully at the codes. User will enter the years employed. The switch case statement will check the year employed and executed the case that corresponded to the entered year employed. If years_employed equals 1, then bonus equals 100. If years_employed equals 2, then bonus equals 200, and so forth. Notice there is a word break after each case. The break is used to break out of the case statements. You may type in the code and compile to help you understand. Try eliminating the break as well and see what happens. Here is a different example that uses character as an input in switch case statement. User will enter their selection either A, B or C. The switch case statement will check the entered selection and executed the case that corresponded to the entered selection. If selection equals A, then it will display option A was selected. If selection equals B, then it will display option B was selected. If selection equals C, then it will display option C was selected. If none of the cases, then the default case will be executed and it display not a valid choice. Bye. End of part 3. Thank you. Hope the content described here help you to further understand the topic.